Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. This is Balaji. Great to meet you all. So, I have a question for you. As an analyst, I know that you have written queries to fetch data from the tables, but have you ever created a table by yourself, like a base table? It's very unlikely, right? So, in a recent interview that I attended, I was asked the question to create a table, and I didn't know it, and I probably lost the interview because of that. And then I learned to create a table. So, it's pretty easy, and you can learn it in the next 5 minutes now. And I'll show you how a table gets created. So, first thing you'll have to remember two words, the magic words: create table. So these are the two words that I use to create a table. So let's give it a table name, something like employee salary. ELOIE. So now that I have given a table name, table has been created. But how is the table a table without columns? So let's give it columns also. ID, then name, email. So we have created the columns. So we'll have to give it a data type also, right? An ID cannot be something like a string value, it should be an integer value, and name should be a string value, so on and so forth. So let us give a data type int. Right, this will be a name, that is a text, and this will be a variable character. So varchar is a data type where it can be a variable character between a given range. So it will be starting, it can be a 0 character value or a character value of the given length. So why do we define this? We can also give it like 1000 or 10,000 or something, but it's something like building a swimming pool to hold a glass of water. It's of no point, right? You cannot, there's no point in having a glass of water poured in the swimming pool, and it's a waste of space. So we're going to give it an app value so that it is more efficient. So a table has been created, and let's test the table. So there is one keyword that I recently found. It is DSC. It could also mean descending, but in this context it is describe, and we'll describe the table, and this will give us a schema, right? So here the describe employee salary will give us a schema of the above table created. That is, the field name is ID, email, and name. The type is integer, integer is given, text is also given, variable character is also given. So now the next one says if the table can be a if the column in the table can have a null value or not. So given we have not specified anything, it can have a null value. So okay, this yes comes here. Key is nothing right now, and default output would be null if there is nothing given. So let us now insert value into the table. So inserting value is also pretty simple. You'll have to remember two words. You have to write insert into the table name, right? And what are you inserting? These three metrics, these three columns: ID, name, email. All right. And what are you inserting? Values. So you write values here, and you put all the data into a parenthesis. So ID should be one, name can be YouTube. So given as a string, you'll have to put it in inverted commas, and email could be youtube@email.com. So even this will be a variable character, so you put it in a double inverted comma, and the table has been created. So now you have to fetch the table. So it's just a select statement, select all from employee salary, right? So here the schema is shown, and here the output is shown for the select statement. So now example, I will add another column, another row. So this shall be 2. I'll make this Google, and this will be Google. Okay, so yes, we have another row. Say for example, you don't want a null value. So what is a null value? It will be an empty null. I will remove this. Yeah, so we have a row with a null value. Say for example, you do not want any null values to be present in this. So you can define saying email not null. So this will give an error saying email ID cannot be null, and given it's specified as not null, the null value becomes no. So it means the null value cannot be accepted in this table, in this column of the table. So I will remove this. Yeah, now it's a string. Yeah, string values are accepted. So similarly, you can have not null for this also. Right, now if I duplicate the ID, it is going to work. So now it's 33. I'll just name it like Google Sundar Pichai, and it is still going to give you an output because we are not specified this as a key or a primary key. So if you need it as a primary key, you just have to specify this as a primary key. But you know that primary keys or any keys cannot be repeated, their unique values. So it will throw an error. So it says duplicate entry 3 for key. So primary keys cannot be duplicated. So you have to change this. So this will get accepted. So this is how you create a table and insert values. Another one, say for example, you have a lot of values, but you cannot keep typing a primary key for all of it. So I found a new hack. So you remove this. We will auto increment so that it will give us an auto primary key. Auto increment. So we'll have to also remove this from the values inserted. You see, it has already given me IDs from 1, 2, 3 and 4. If I add another one, it's going to give me, right, I will change this to Mark. So it has automatically added the value 5 and given the name Mark, and given this is a string, it's a null string. And also if you see the schema, this key has turned into pri, meaning it's a primary key, and it can have no null values because it's, although we not mentioned it, because it's a primary key, it cannot have any null values. Say you want to insert a date value. So how do you insert a date value? It's similar now. So dt and give it date, and I'll give you a few dates here. 2022. Let me get the same date. A lot of data. Right, it should be dt here. Right, so here the dt value is changed to date. It can have a null value and default is null. Say I change the pattern to this format, 01 01 022. So what do you think would be the output? Will it accept it or not? Will it give an error? So it will give an error. Reason, the date format is in the incorrect format. So by default the date format for on SQL would be year, month and date, but here it is dd mm YYYY. So we'll have to change it to a default pattern. Yeah, so this is how you give the date value. Similarly, there are other ways you can give a timestamp or date time and all of that. And yes, this is how you create a table for now. Do let me know if you have any questions, put it down in the comments, and feel free to share this with your friends who might be preparing for SQL interviews and this might be a probable question for them. So Thank you.